Hey guys, it's Jessie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am going to be talking about my first heavy metal band experience. So I was dating this guy last year and our 1 month was coming up. We started dating September 14th, 2017, and of course, October 14th of the next month was our anniversary. And so for that, we decided to go to this concert. And the 4 bands that were performing was The Word Alive, Escape the Fate, We Came as Romans, and then the best for last, I Prevail. And this was at the Agora in Cleveland. And if anybody knows where Cleveland is, it's in Ohio. And so, let's see, it was my boy and I, and my boy's friend named Jesse. Ironically, he has the same name as me. And also his friend Gary, and the other 2 was Amber and Cody. And so, we were in like a Dodge. Yeah, we were in a Dodge. And Gary was driving. No, let me reverse that. Jesse was driving. Gary. And then it was Cody, Amber, Hunter. And then I was sitting on Hunter's lap because there was no more room. And so we're driving all the way up there and everything. And before that, we went to Taco Bell, got some food to eat, you know, the usuals. And so we had our Taco Bell, we got back in the car, we were heading up to there. And when we got there, we had to like park our car like far away, for probably like a couple streets over from the Agora. And so we did that, and we were walking, and there ended up being this guy, and he was like a street performer or something. We didn't know who he was, but he was asking Hunter, hey, can I borrow your hat so I can do a trick with it or whatever. And we were like not about it. We're like, who is this random stranger? He was telling us the story that he's the legend of Cleveland, and if you need help with anything, let me know. I'm the person you go to. And then towards the end of the whole conversation, or him trying to show us something, he was trying to get us to give him money, like, but he's like, I've been in the Agora 1,000 times, it's awesome, I love all the shows there, da-da-da. We just thought this guy was full on weird, and so we're like, trying to get away, walking away, and we do, and, then we had this longest line waiting to go inside for our concert. And while we're waiting, we see some of their tour buses, and some of the band members of each band were like coming out and waving to us, and we're like, you know. And before the concert, we're in the line, and they legit were like throwing monsters to us and t-shirts. I'm like, okay, they're hyping us up, you know, it's all good. And then as we're getting closer through the line, we end up finally getting to the front of the line. We had to go through the metal detectors, you know, put our stuff in the bucket and go through both of them. There's like at least 2 or 3 metal detector things we went through. And we're like, okay, are we going to be up top? Are we going to be in the mosh pit? What are we doing? Okay. And so we ended up being in the mosh pit. And let me tell you, first, we were starting out as, you know, just like in the middle of the mosh pit. Actually, the back. We were towards the back. And so we were towards the back, waiting for the show to start and everything. And there's like these guys in front of us. And they're full on like, yo, see, look at that girl. She good looking or something. I'm like, okay. And then I was like saying to my boyfriend at the time, hey, look at that girl. And he goes, no. And they're like, why, what's wrong? And he's like, this is my girlfriend right here. They're like, oh shit, my bad. And so they were like suggesting him to look at somebody else when I was right there. And he's like, oh, you two are cute. it was a complete stranger, and he's like, oh, you two are cute. My bad, I didn't know. And then, so, like I don't even know what to say. Oh, the show was starting then, and, as the show was going on and everything, they were throwing water bottles in the crowd for us, and some girl got hit in the back of the head with a water bottle, and she was standing in front of me. And then I'm like, oh my god, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm good, it's all good. It was just a water bottle. I was like, well, if it makes you feel any better, my boyfriend headbutted me last week unintentionally by accident. She's like, oh my god, really? And I'm like, yeah, he did. She's like, so yeah, needless to say, I made a little friend there. It was kind of awesome. And then, as the show's going on, there's people taking off their shirts. I'm talking guys and girls. Okay? And the girls are just running around their bras. I'm like, oh, damn. So they're running around their bras and shit, and I'm like, this is extra. And there's just shirtless guys and everything. And, the whole time we're in the mosh pit, you know, people are pushing each other back and forth and getting rowdy and crazy. And the whole time I had to, like, link arms or hold hands with my boyfriend and his friend, because my friend was like, these can get crazy, these can get intense. And of course my boyfriend knew that as well. He's been in them before. I've not. This was my very first time. It was my first experience with this. And so they were like, you know, making sure I stayed on them just in case, because they can get crazy. People can get hurt. People can get shoved to the ground. People can get pushed around, you know, thrown, whatever. Anything can go down at these. It's all go. It's fair game. And so I was, you know, holding on to them the whole time, having a good time. I had so much fun. I've never experienced anything like this before, and I thought it was very, very exciting, very fun. And at one point during one of the shows, there's this guy, he was getting out of hand. He was like yelling crazy at people, pushing, and he had to get thrown out. I'm like, they get real intense during these things, huh? So he got thrown out, and there's this other guy, he was talking shit about some of the band members of one of the bands, and they called him out. They legit was like, you sir, the one talking shit, come on up here. And of course, you know, the security is pulling up on stage, and like, and they're like, since you want to talk shit, say something into the mic. And they legit called him out, like, dang, okay. And mind you, of course they picked someone who was decent looking, of course. I'm not gonna deny it, he was good looking. Not better looking than my boyfriend, of course. But he was so good looking. He had his shirt off, go figure. And he was trying to say they suck or something nonsense. Then they took him off stage, and then he got thrown out too. And the whole time as this is going on, people are crowd surfing and getting crazy. And there was a bunch of people that were like being appropriate, so it was a good time. It was fun. And my boyfriend even crowd surfed a few times. He had fun with it. He was like, this was such an amazing experience. See, I would crowd surf, but I'm scared somebody will drop me. So I didn't do it. I was like, I'm not participating in that. There was even kids doing it. And then, because they're so little, they were getting thrown like 5 times high up in the air and stuff. Getting thrown around, tossed back and forth. I'm like, wow, these little kids are brave for that. And I have to say, like the Agora, anything goes. There were so many people there that smelled really bad of weed. I'm like, dang. Yeah, they full on, you could smell it. It was a very intense, strong smell. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is really crazy. And, it was intense. My head was starting to hurt a little. I'm like, oh my god, this weed is strong. And after the concert, we decided to get pizza, because they're selling pizza there, and so we got some pizza. And what was really awesome is that for every band except my favorite band you can meet them, get pictures, autographs. Of course, every band they had that for was all of them except the one I wanted, which was I Prevail. I'm like, for real? I was very disappointed. And we were walking out of the concert after the pictures and autographs and after getting our pizza. And, you know, we're walking back to the car. We get in the car. And let's see. Then we started driving on the highway to get home. And I was noticing that there was like a huge accident. I literally had to duck my head down, so like if the cops were looking like through the windows of the car, they won't see that I am not sitting in a seat. I'm sitting on someone's lap because, you know, there's no room. And so I ducked my head down, and then as we're passing them, I put my head back up, and we're like jamming out in the car, and we're playing inappropriate songs, right? Windows down, blaring it, and we get so many looks from everybody around us, and they're just looking at like, they're playing that. There's even like a whole bunch of kids in the car, and like older people, and they're just looking at us because they're like hearing that we're playing inappropriate music, and they didn't like it, and they rolled up their windows. And then on the way back to my house, of course we dropped off Gary and Jesse at home, and Amber and Cody, and Hunter and I were on our way back home, and we ended up going to Hunter's friends, and I got to meet his mom and dad and his friends' siblings, and it was fun, except I don't think his mom liked me. And she was like, his mom noticed that I wasn't sitting on a chair. I was sitting on a bin, but I wasn't, there's like no place to sit. And she's like, oh honey, find a chair. Don't sit on that, please. And she said it kind of rude, you know? And she didn't really introduce herself, so I felt like unwelcomed, and it felt awkward the whole time I was there. I was so happy to get home. And so yeah, that is the experience of my first heavy metal concert. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment down below what kind of videos you want to see next, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.